it is Wednesday, and that means it is another What's for Dinner. I love these. Y'all know that, and you all love these just as well. And so I've got a few recipes for you guys. For this first one, I'm making chicken broccoli pasta. Now, normally I like to use orzo for this dish, but I couldn't find any at Kroger, so I just went ahead and picked up that rigatoni, and that it worked just as fine. So whatever pasta you want. So I'm going to cook that up by itself until it's al dente, and then I'm going to take and cut up my chicken, get that nice and diced up, and then I'm going to season it up with some complete seasoning, throw it in a pan, let that cook up, and then when it is cooked, I will add my broccoli in, then put the lid on it, let it cook, and then after that, y'all will see me add all the cheesy goodness. I have talked about the Velveeta packets forever now, and I get a lot of questions on what I use them for, because y'all see them in my hauls, and y'all, I literally use it in anything. They are the best, especially the little pouch ones. One, they're cheaper. Two, they're already portioned out, so it's so much easier just to grab one and throw it in a dish. I use it in my homemade hamburger helper. I use it in this chicken and broccoli pasta. I've used it in soup. I've used it in, you can just heat it up itself and put it on like a baked potato. I'm telling y'all, I use this all the stinking time. I absolutely love it. You can even have like 2 cups of pasta boiled and then put it in for mac and cheese. 2 cups of pasta for one of those packages, and I'm telling y'all, so good. Homemade mac and cheese within 2 seconds, and you're not breaking the bank because you're not buying that big old block of Velveeta. So anyways, I'm gonna quit rambling. I'm gonna let y'all watch me do this, and I hope you all enjoy this recipe. for this next meal, we are making some homemade pizzas. Definitely a family favorite, and Winston loves to help me make these. So you all will see him pop in to help add the toppings on, and he normally gets a few bites. He likes eating the ham and he loves eating the cheese, so it's always funny to watch him because he'll put like, one little handful of cheese on the pizza, and then he'll eat, 2 handfuls, one for you, 2 for me. But for this night, I made 2 different pizzas. I made a chicken bacon Alfredo, and then I also did just a meat pizza. So I just had a piece of chicken. I had a thin sliced chicken breast. Took it out of the package, and I'm just gonna season it up with some of this zesty Italian seasoning. I love this stuff, and it gives chicken really good flavor. I'm gonna put that on there, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to cook that in the air fryer. It took it no time to cook in the air fryer, which made me really happy because I didn't have to wait for it, and I could do other stuff while that was cooking in the air fryer. So once it come out of the air fryer, I just sliced it up, and then we will add it to the Alfredo pizza. For the pizza crust, I normally use like either the Kroger brand or the Walmart brand of just the bag pizza crust, just whichever, whatever store I'm at, whichever one. It doesn't matter to us. So you're going to see me put everything on the pizza. I do use canned jarred Alfredo. Normally not my go-to, but I didn't have everything to make homemade Alfredo, and you don't need that much when you're just doing one little pizza. So I just went ahead and opened that jar, used it. So use your favorite brand. If you liked jarred Alfredo, then pick your favorite brand. If you want to do homemade, then you can make homemade. Just remember that you're just doing it on pizza as a sauce, so don't make like a big batch of it unless you're going to use it for another meal that same week, because you cannot freeze Alfredo sauce because it's just going to separate. So I don't want you to do that and then it go to waste. So we're just going to get the pizzas going, get everything on. You'll see me and Winston getting them all ready, me making a mess, Winston eating some toppings. But let's go ahead and get into the pizzas. I also wanted to mention, y'all see me using that cornmeal. I learned that tip from culinary school, and it works really good. So normally you would put flour, put flour down where it won't stick to your hands or to the surface. That way you can roll it out. But when you put flour on there, that flour is going to stick, and it's going to form into the dough. So you're going to make your dough tough and dense. So when you use the cornmeal has got that texture on it. So instead of adding to the dough, it's going to stick to the the surface of the dough. So it helps you stretch it out without having all of that extra flour put into your dough. It works really good, I'm telling y'all. Since I've been doing this, since I had learned that in baking class, and I will forever do that. But I wanted to give y'all that tip because it was really helpful for me, and so hopefully it will help some of you all. For this next meal, we are having some good old fried pork chops with some mushroom and onion gravy, as well as some roasted veggies. Normally I do roasted vegetables in the summertime a lot, but it just sounded really good, so I went ahead and just threw it together. Like you see, it's got potatoes, carrots, and some Brussels sprouts. Put it at 400. Just keep an eye on it. The key is to not flip them. Like, if you try to if you open it up to check on it and you try to flip it and the potato is still stuck, wait, because that means that the potato still does not have that good crisp skin on it where it will release off the pan. So try to leave it in there. Unless the potato is easy to flip, then go ahead and flip it and pop it back in there until they're cooked to your liking. But I just normally do like salt, pepper, garlic, balsamic vinegar, kind of just throw whatever I want to in there, whatever feels good. But for the pork chops, I season them with some of that complete seasoning, and then I'm mixing up my flour, and I use seasoning salt this time. That's another thing that I just do whatever feels right. So there's the first round coming out. They're nice and crisp, golden brown, beautiful. And then, so anyways, I'm just going to coat them and just cook them till all of them are cooked through. And then we will start on the gravy. So for the gravy, I pour out some of that grease. You just want a couple tablespoons. And so I had mushrooms and onions. I just cut those up, and then of course I cooked the onions first. Let them get almost done, and then you put your mushrooms in there because the mushrooms don't take no time to cook. And I seasoned this up with some salt and pepper. I put some Worcestershire on there. I pick out the veggies because that's just a texture thing, but Luke really likes them well done, well sauteed. So I don't know what happened here. I've lost some footage, but once those veggies get done, just add in some heavy cream. I think that was like one of those smaller bottles from Kroger or Walmart. Maybe a pint. Let that heat through and start thickening up. Then I'm going to season it again with some more Worcestershire, some Parmesan cheese, and then some salt and pepper to taste. Mix that all in, just slowly have it at a simmer. You don't want to scald it. You're just wanting that to thicken up to be a nice thick gravy. And then once that's done, you will serve that on top of your pork chops, and then we had it alongside the roasted veggies, and I put some of the gravy on my roasted veggies, and it was really good as well. For the last meal of this video, we pulled out an old favorite and we made Italian beef subs. Like I said, it's an old favorite. We love this really simple crock pot meal. all you need is a beef roast. That one was, I think, like 3 pounds maybe. So I put that in there, and then all you're going to do is you're going to add a packet of dry Italian seasoning mix on top. You're going to pour some of the juice and put some of the peppers on top of the mild banana peppers. And then I pour water until it's about halfway up the sides of the roast. Turn it on your crock pot. You can cook it nice and low and slow till it all falls apart, and it is beautiful. And then we serve it on hoagie buns with some provolone cheese. I was actually out of provolone cheese, so I just took some shredded Monterey Jack, and we used that, and it tasted just as good. Normally we have a side with this. I will have some french fries, but this night was a little busy, so we just had the subs and we were still full, and it was delicious. If you have never tried this recipe before, make sure that y'all give it a try. It's well worth it. And we normally don't have this unless we can find the roast on sale, just because we are frugal with our meat choices, and we normally only buy beef roast when we can find them on sale. But so it's definitely a treat whenever we have it, since we wait for it to go on sale, like I said. But all you gotta do is put it in the crock pot, put the lid on it, cook it nice, low and slow until it falls apart, and it is delicious and amazing. So that is the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I did also want to mention that I have had recent comments wanting like recipes, or the ingredient list, or description of how to make that stuff, certain dishes. And I have to say that if I use a recipe, I either type it out in the description box if it's like from one of my cookbooks, or if I say, if this is a Pinterest recipe, then my Pinterest boards are always linked in the description box, and all you have to do is click on that link and it takes you straight to my Dean dinner and my Dean dessert boards. So all those recipes are not on there. Now, there's times that I have forgot, so if you don't see a recipe, just shoot me a message and I will make sure that it's in the right spot, because I always save them, but I put them in a different category until I try it and I like it. So I may not have moved it over in time, but all you gotta do is just let me know. But one of the things that I do, since I show you all as I'm cooking along, that way I do that so you all can kind of watch me as you're cooking. So if there's a certain meal that you all want to make, watch it, get the ingredients, and then as you're cooking it, just prop me up somewhere and watch the video as you cook, so you can cook with me, and that way you can get the idea of what's going on. I may not have exact measurements, but that is just me. I've been cooking for a while, and so I don't cook a lot with measurements. It's just like a dash here, a cup here. Oh, this looks good. Yep, that's enough. So I do apologize for the ones that have to have a set recipe to read. I'm sure you can find any kind of versions of these meals on Pinterest, so just Google or Pinterest what I've said. Like this one's Italian beef subs. I'm sure you could find a recipe for that on there. But I hope that helps, and I hope that doesn't push some people away where I don't have everything written out in there, because I do love you all watching my videos, and if there is any way I can help y'all, just make sure you let me know. either send me an email or if you have me on Instagram, message me on Instagram. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Please comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all later. Bye guys.